Linda Mallard, my favorite person. How are you?
Awesome, thank you.
Good. Thanks for taking the time to chat today. Everyone, this is Liz Nicholls from Liz Nicholls of Woman in Motion, and I'm with Linda Mallard from Tawasum Wellness Center and also Intentional Life. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about today's topic. But first of all, Linda, I'll get you to introduce yourself and then we'll jump into the topic.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Liz. I love our little chats. They're always lively and relevant. Linda Millard, I am the founder and creator of TWC Pilates, Tawasum Wellness Center, and also Intentional Life. I've always been a movement educator, and in my commitment to help people live an active, pain-free lifestyle for a lifetime, it just takes you deeper down, why people aren't healing and what's going on in the body. And so over the last 5 years, I've launched Intentional Life. And this is where I use my skills in hypnotherapy and bioenergy synchronization techniques and energy coaching to support people in really healing everywhere and getting that sense that when we're whole and complete, we are whole and complete, and that all that's in the way of us feeling our best and living our best life are energetic interferences that we're holding in our body, which can be past experiences or traumas or beliefs that we have. And so using the combination of these skills is just so fun, supporting people in getting well, staying well, and living a life that they love.
Well, it's interesting timing. There's so many people I've talked to recently that they feel like their body is kind of stuck or it's not moving or, they don't have the energy and they feel like there's some kind of lifelong trauma or something in their body that it's not functioning properly, it's not flowing. And I'm hearing more from people about they don't feel like their body's healing. And it's taking too long, or there's this waterfall of illness happening over and over and over. And I would think in some cases, not particularly the ones I'm talking about, there is a lot of trauma from the past and they're hanging on to stuff and it's stuck in their body. Yes, that's me, and we know we have trauma and we know we need to energetically get that moving and learn to let go. So all the toxins and negativity and trauma, etc., is released from the body.
Beautiful. And that the people that you're speaking to are connecting their physical ailments to experiences and the holding on to the trauma, this feeling of not letting go of what happened, in fear that I may fall apart, in fear that I may be vulnerable. The fact that there's that awareness that we are all one human being, that our experiences and our energy and our body is really working together. And our body is the messenger. When we learn to tap into our body's wisdom and listen to what our body is saying, and we start to pay attention to the body, this is our opportunity to heal. So these individuals who are coming to you with this, they are already on the journey of healing themselves. And that is where the power lies. It's so beautiful. Trauma is not what the actual incident was. This is by Gabor Mate, when the body says no. Trauma is how we interpret what happened and how we hold on to it and the beliefs that we make from that trauma. And unless we have the circuitry in place to allow that experience to move through and out our body, it can get trapped. I often use a slinky example, and I don't have it with me today, but a slinky that opens and closes, this is really how energy should be flowing through our body when everything is working as it should. The chakra systems are working, everything, the chemistry in the body. We have our experiences, we let it go. We might have an argument, but we don't hang on to the anger. But what happens is when we don't let it move through, it gets trapped. And that's all that we're happening. And so your friends are so right, because it can get trapped and show up as shoulder pain. Frozen shoulder is a critical one of people that have had trauma. recently. When people come in saying, oh, I've got frozen shoulder now, it's like, what's happened in the last year in your life? And there's always something major. Migraine headaches, gut issues, autoimmune conditions, inflammation in the body, things that are showing up for no apparent reason and that aren't healing for any apparent reason is almost always to do with discourse in the body, where we're not living in alignment or we're hanging on. There's a quote, I don't know the author of the quote, but it's very brilliant. I love it. It says, when you let go of a little, you will be a little happy.
Mm,
When you let go of a lot, you will be a lot happy. When you let go of everything, you will be free.
I love that.
The power is in the freedom, in the letting go. The letting go is what sets us free. So exactly what these folks are picking up on is that there's something there that I need to bring up, because anything we hold or suppress, it gets held in the second chakra, is going to come up and bubble up somewhere, somehow in the body. And when we feel this bubbling up, we call it flooding the basement,
Mm,
and it starts to bubble up. It's if we can use our breath and take it to the body and allow it to move up and through and really acknowledge the experience and then let it go. When we're letting something go, we're not saying it's okay, it happened. We're not removing the experience or the knowledge of the experience. We're simply releasing its hold on us.
I love that. Yeah.
So this is the work that we do. So I've
Oh
said
my,
a lot, blah.
no, but it's so important. And like I've mentioned before, having a history of epilepsy and an autoimmune, I know there's some kind of like there's going to be trauma or not quite a PTSD, but there's trauma, emotional, physical, everything in there. And sometimes I feel like my body is hanging on to that experience and I can't or shouldn't have be hanging on to that experience. But I can tell that, yeah, my body and certain this, and if this happens and that happens and everything else, and I feel like, Liz, you just got to let that go. Let your body let it go, and release that because it's not serving. And sometimes I think we get stuck in ourselves and our junk, like we've talked about before, and your body's just not moving perfectly or energetically. Did that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. And it can be tricky to explain because the letting go is really an experience that happens in the body. We don't think letting go. There's the movement in the body and the willingness to let go and be free. So whenever we think of an incident or think of a traumatic incident, be it small or be it big, if there's a charge in your body, you haven't released it yet. It still has a hold on you. So we get triggered. We have knee-jerk reactions. We have outbursts. We might react in a way that seems inappropriate to the level of whatever is going on is. And those are all signs that there's something in there that is still has a hold on you. So the question is then, how do we heal our body? So there's a few things. One is when the conditions are right, our body can regenerate.
Mm,
So we do want to support our body with the right conditions. Things like, are we getting enough sleep? Are we exercising? Do we have a practice of positive thoughts, practices of gratitude? Are we eating well? These sorts of things. Are we surrounding ourselves in a supportive community? So we want to set our body up, ourselves up for the conditions so it can regenerate. And then there's the practice of letting go. Do you want to go through just a little sort of practice of
yeah.
letting go?
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely. This is so good. And before I forget, we need to talk about your upcoming classes as well, because I'm all excited about those. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. So yes, thank you, Liz. It's Friday, October 20th, from 9 to 10:30 Pacific time. that I'm doing a free masterclass called Heal Your Body Now. And we're going to talk about the 3 keys to healing your body now. And that includes things like setting up the conditions for your body to regenerate, but also how do we let go? How do we let go of fear or trauma? And really, it's about acknowledging how it is and letting it be. So this is what we'll be talking about on the Friday, and we're going to do a hypnotherapy session and meditation. So we'll have the conversation about it like we're doing now, and then we'll take you through an experience around it.
And sorry
But
about
we
that,
can
I
do a mini
interrupted.
one.
Well, yeah, you want to do a little exercise and then I interrupted you. Sorry about that.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. You know, this is great. It's a conversation, and I love it. So just sit comfortably in your seat, and you're welcome to close your eyes. And we want to start just by breathing in energy from above our head and just really let your belly expand. And then as you exhale, pull your belly towards your spine and send that energy down your legs and out your feet and down into the earth. And again, just breathe up from the earth into your belly. Let it expand, really settling into your seat and exhaling above your head. So we're just getting this connection to our higher purpose, our higher self, and down into the energy of the earth. So as you just relax into your breath now, just steady yourself, relax, and bringing this kind attention to your body and your breath. Let yourself settle into the ground of the present. And bring into loving awareness whatever feelings or stories or reactions that is time to let go of. And you can acknowledge them gently. Maybe it's sadness, betrayal, anxiety. And allow these experiences the space to be. To float without resistance, held in the heart of loving awareness and kindness. And now continue to breathe gently and just ask yourself, is it indeed wise to let go of what has come in now to your heart, in your mind? And let yourself feel the benefit and the ease of this deep letting go. And just say to yourself, let go. And let go. Gently, over and over. Let go and let go. And as you do so, soften the body and heart. And let any feelings that rise drain out of you into the earth. And sense how the feelings and images can be released like water draining out of the tub. And as you breathe into your belly and your heart center opens, feel the openness that comes as you let go. And as your heart softens and the space of your body opens, and now envision the days of the future where the situation has been released. Sense the freedom, the innocence, and the ease that this letting go will bring. And say to yourself again, let go, let go. And as you sit quietly and notice if the feelings return, if there's still a charge there, because often they will. We've often been hanging on to these things for a long time. And each time they return, breathe softly and bow to them. and say softly, I've let you go. I've let you go. I've returned you to the earth. I do not need to carry you any further. I am moving on, and I've let you go. Gradually, the mind and the heart will come into trust the space of letting go. And gradually, your heart will be easy, and you will find an opening to well-being and freedom. Fresh to move on in your life as you learn to let go. Take a breath in from overhead. Let your heart center expand. Breathe in bigger than your body. Let your belly fill. Let it feel good. And as you exhale, your shoulders soften. Heart center softens. Belly pulls back to your spine, dropping down into the earth.
Wow.
That's something
Wow.
that I just created this morning. So it's fresh in my mind
You know
around
what?
just,
That was powerful. I'm not sure how to explain the feeling. It'll sound kind of weird, but I could really feel something. I don't even know what to say or how to say it, but it was all of a sudden my body was relaxing and relaxing and relaxing. And I thought, oh my God, how uptight was I before this exercise?
we hang on to these things because we feel that it's bringing safety. There's always a secondary gain. And once we get that letting go of whatever happened and whatever story we created around what happened doesn't release the fact that it happened. We actually want to go there that it did and acknowledge that it did,
Yeah.
but that it doesn't have to, it's not our responsibility to carry that pain with us for the rest of our life and for it to have a hold on us. I was in a course one time and this woman said, my dad, he did unspeakable things to her. And she said, my father has ruined my life. And, the presenter was like, well, why have you given him that power? What happened to you is horrid. What happened to you never should have happened to a child, but you're giving him power over you still as an adult. And when she got that, it was like, boom, mic drop,
Oh,
that actually she has say over her life and how her life goes. And it was the most powerful feeling that we could all feel the shift in her when she realized she was holding that experience and letting it control her life. And it was her choice to do so. And it's also our choice to let go.
you know,
Um,
yeah, and it's interesting, like people, I'm fascinated by this because, I studied holistic or Eastern Western nutrition and stuff like that. But so many people don't know about this kind of work. Like they're so into, we were taught this and you do this and this is normal. And, oh no, not that. That's whatever woo woo or that's, whatever. And a lot of this is scientifically proven, and there's the quantum physics and all these other different things. And I kind of feel like society wasn't taught about this. Well, they weren't. They weren't taught about it. They don't know about it. And they follow traditional. Whereas I was kind of that rebel where I was like Eastern, Western, holistic alternative, looking at different options for personal healing, because I knew there had to be something more than taking these drugs for the epilepsy. There had to be something out there. And the more people that become aware of this, what you do, even Pilates and the best and the courses, the workshops, the one-on-one, the hypnotherapy, it's so helpful. And yet I feel like not enough people know about it, and more people should know about it, knowing that you don't have to, well, that you have options. I'll put it that way. That you have options, because I'm not knocking pharmaceutical at all. I'm just saying, look at the options that are available to you,
mm,
that are not mainstream. Because I know just in the work that we've done together, the workshop at your studio, our private calls, or the work is that for me, it's brilliant. And I
yeah.
know it will be for others. Like I'm excited to go through and do the best program with you, and to find out like how much stuff do we hold on to? And,
Mhm.
the more you release the anger or and learn to stop the pity party, or what they say, pull up your big girl panties, or realize you have more control in life, and you control your life and your destiny and your body. Did that
Yes.
come out
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, yes, and it's so true. And I think now, because there is so much science that is backing this work around energy medicine and quantum physics and hypnotherapy, for example, that people won't come as a last resort. Like usually now it's like, I've tried everything.
Yeah.
And really what we want to do is see ourselves as perfect, whole, and complete as we are, that nothing is wrong. And that when there's discourse in the body, it's our body just knocking on our door saying we need a little attention here. And when it's happening within our own selves, it can feel scary because we don't want to feel sick or be in pain. And it's the normal thing to go to our doctor. And it still is a good thing to go to your doctor. There was a woman who had kidney disease, and she was told that it was non-repairable, and she was on a list for a kidney replacement. And we were in an energy healing group. It was a setting where there was a bunch of us that were learning teachers together. And we were asked, would you like anything supercharged? Is there anything that you would like us to supercharge for anyone energetically? And this woman said, I would like to be put up at the top of the transplant list. And so the teacher said, well, what about if we supercharged healing your kidney? She said, no, no, no. The doctors have told me that it's not repairable, nothing can be done, and I need a kidney transplant. And so we said, well, okay, so we'll supercharge that. And in the meantime, while you're waiting, how about if we also pray with you and energetically work with you that your kidneys are healthy and strong? So the process we did is that her job was to focus on everything in her body that worked well. Her hearts, her liver, her brain, her blood flow, everything in her body that worked well, and to ask them to share that with the kidney and bring the kidney up into all that was working well. The job of everybody else is that every time they went to the bathroom, it was called the pee-pee prayer. Every time they went to the bathroom, they peed, and they were thankful that their kidneys worked well. So we were focusing on what was working well in the body. So a couple of months later, we get back together, and this lady has great news. Her kidneys have healed. She no longer needs surgery. The doctors can't figure out what's going on, and they want to do a minor surgery to find out what happened. And she said, no, thank you. My kidneys are good. So, boy, if I ever doubt in this, or I ever don't believe, these things happen where it's like energy healing works. We are all energy. And there's things that we can do to support what our body does naturally. So in the process of doing your due diligence, and there's medicine that is there for a reason, there's also things that you can do that truly do work. The proof is in the pudding.
Wow, that's incredible. So you have workshops coming up, and also, are you going to be doing any classes around the best coming up, or have you got any thoughts and plans for other classes? And
Yes, absolutely. So the master class on Friday, October 20th, is just my gift to you on Heal Your Body Now. And these are the things we'll be going over, and a longer hypnotherapy meditation. And then in November, just getting the dates put out for an energy codes workshop. And I'm always available one-on-one with clients to do hypnotherapy and the bioenergetic work. The bioenergetic work is really beautiful because it's actually, we don't talk about what is going on. We don't talk about the past, the history. We just remove the interferences in the body and let the body do its work to heal. So I do all of that in the same session, but sometimes people just want one or the other. So always one-on-one, I'm available. I take clients, but the Energy Codes Workshop, which is really what got you started, what got me started on this journey, I will be doing in November. So those dates will be up soon. Yeah, thank you for
yeah, I'll
asking.
come back and do that again. That was that was unbelievable. I just sort of walked out of the classes like, wow. If you have an open mind and it was just, I was just wowed. Yeah. Well, I was flabbergasted. Some of the things we did, the exercises and discussions in the class, I'm like, okay,
Yeah, it's just
this is,
releasing what's there, what's in the way, fear, anger, love, sadness, what's in the way, and then we have ways of releasing it. And what I love about this work is that we're actually giving you the tools to do manage things on a daily basis, because just like brushing your teeth and our natural hygiene, doing breath work every day, giving acts of gratitude. I'm starting to keep a wisdom journal. I've gone through some challenges in the last bit, and there's learnings and lessons from there that give me more compassion and wisdom as I move forward. So, each week now I write in my wisdom journal, what have I learned this week? What was going on in those experiences? So you walk away with things that you can do, that you have control over your health and well-being. And that's what I love about this work.
yeah, it's amazing. I started journaling again too because of, our conversations or the classes and journaling. And I love that you called a wisdom journal. And I'm always now looking for the lesson or, the growth or I guess, the experience. And I don't know, it's just kind of keeps being as you're getting older, learning, growing, releasing, realigning, and stepping into your true, personal power, if that's the right word. But I don't know. I'm loving this age and I'm loving that this kind of work is being talked about so much out there. And like I was mentioning earlier, a couple conversations I had, people are talking about their bodies aren't healing, like I was mentioning earlier, or they keep getting sick and this keeps happening and their body feels stuck. And, but it's all of a sudden these conversations are starting, which is interesting since we started doing our talks and interviews and things like that. So, it's very, very helpful in movement, as we age, like our hips. And
Yes, and there certainly is an aging process there. One of the workshops I'll be bringing up in November as well is why we get happier as we age. Why do we get happier as we get older? It's exactly that. There is a wisdom that comes as we get older. This knowingness. It's like we don't take our foot off the gas pedal, but we start to experience that we can go with the flow of the river versus pushing everything upstream and dragging that boulder up the hill. And we learn to let go of so much and really enjoy life and appreciate what there is here in life. Like, the just appreciate nature, appreciate the beauty that we're seeing out here in fall. And, if I was to give one tip of advice for improving our emotional and our physical state, there's so much to do with gratitude,
yeah,
so much with just being grateful, because grateful, it doesn't compete, it's not envious, it's not judgmental. So when we're just in gratitude about the small things or the big things, it does so much to our immune system, to our vibration levels, to our resiliency. And I love what you said as well, Liz, is oh, it just dropped out of me. But the journal, oh, that was it. The journaling and the wisdom is that everything happens for our greater good.
yeah.
Nothing happens to us. We are not victims. We are victorious. And so when something comes, it's just a message. When there's a challenge that comes, maybe we're stretching, maybe we're pushing the envelope a little bit, maybe we're stepping out into new territory. There's always, after an expansion, an anchoring that comes in. And these anchorings are sometimes make us wobble. And so that wobble sometimes feels uncomfortable, but those wobbles can show up as challenges, and they can show up at these, like, what's the learning? What's the wisdom? What do I need to draw from that? Is that the universe tapping me on the shoulder? It's like, no, just a little step to the right and you'll be fine. That there's power in that, in how we see life, in
Yeah.
that regard. So, beautiful work on your part for.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Thank you so much for these conversations. I just love them. You know, there's so much
Me too.
wisdom and knowledge, and you know, I keep thinking, where was this 40 years ago when I got epilepsy, or 30 years ago? But you know, you can't go there. I can appreciate that it's here now, and it's available. So I know I'm so grateful for you. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for where we live, grateful for so many things. And I can't wait for our next conversation. Now, again, before we log off here, how can people best get a hold of you?
Oh, thank you, Liz. My website is intentionallife.ca. And I'm also on Facebook, Linda Mallard 3. You can type in my name, you know what I look like now, and you can see me there and message me as well. Liz, thank you for your time, always enlivening conversations. You know, staying in these conversations is what levels us up. And when women come together and level each other up, the vibration just expands, and what is available to us expands. So I enjoy these so much as well. And in sharing this work and bringing other women together is really so beautiful.
Thank you so much. And we'll talk again soon. Bye for now. Thank you.